I'm Matt Smith right now on Upfront. Polls opening in just hours Tuesday morning. The midterm elections here. Control of Congress, the governor's mansion, all at stake. Our new interviews on the campaign trail in the heated race for governor just moments away. Then our insiders standing by what Democrats and Republicans will be watching. A final look inside the U.S. Senate campaigns. And the final poll numbers, the nationwide impact. We've got it all right now on a special edition of Upfront from downtown Milwaukee.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Smith, outside the Wisconsin Center in downtown Milwaukee. Set up here beginning in just hours, the site of Milwaukee's central count. Inside, processing tens of thousands of absentee ballots on Election Day. Election officials now also preparing for an increased number of partisan poll watchers. The candidates in a final blitz across the state this weekend, closing arguments in a bitterly close race for governor and U.S. Senate. We begin here with the race for governor. Democrat Tony Evers, Republican Tim Michels tied at 48% in the final Marquette Law School poll, setting the stage for a late and close night.
We need this guy, Mr. Tim Michels. Tim.
In these final days, these final hours,
everywhere we go, the enthusiasm is off the chart.
Republican Tim Michels is closing the gap. A battle in this battleground for every last vote, campaigning from GOP field offices to flooding his social media account with images from Wisconsin bars and restaurants. This is the Republican fight to unseat first-term incumbent governor, Democrat Tony Evers.
Governor in these final days is calling you and painting you as a radical. I'm curious your closing argument to those who either may not vote or are undecided.
You know, the only person I hear calling me a radical is the governor, and it's a shame that he's done this political stooping, if you will, in the last minute. You know what I hear from people everywhere I go? They say, Tim, you seem like a genuine guy, and you seem like a person that has a lot of common sense. That's very true, and that's what I've proven.
The governor, who beat Scott Walker by some 29,000 votes 4 years ago, is in the midst of his own bus tour. A school bus for the former state superintendent, painting a stark contrast.
Radical, whatever term you want to use.
My opponent is dangerous, and his ideas on all number of things are really radical.
Both campaigns participated in just one debate. Evers agreed to an extensive interview with us. The Michels campaign did not. Republicans have had a lot of concerns about this idea of private money going to municipalities or cities to help run elections, voter turnout, you name it. Curious, do you think private money should go to municipalities, and why is that a good thing?
Well, it's not a good thing if it could be coming from public funds. You know, do I think, you know, when some of those money from Zuckerman went to municipalities, they paid their poll workers more. Is that wrong? No, of course it's right. It's not necessarily where the money comes from, it's making sure that we have the resources to run a good election. You know, this whole business about fraud, our election was safe, secure, and fair. We should take that $1 million we gave to Gableman and help Milwaukee and other cities run their elections.
Michels has made election integrity a key part of his campaign.
And we are going to stop the Zuckerbucks, stop the ballot harvesting, and stop the indefinitely confined status.
You've been talking a lot about election integrity on the trail. Curious, as we look ahead to this election, do you trust the process underway, and should your supporters?
You know, I think there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to be poll watchers next Tuesday, and people are concerned. It's not my opinion. Everywhere I go, people are concerned. And election integrity, it's not a Republican issue. It's an American issue. I don't care if you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat. People want to know that we have fair, honest, and transparent elections here in Wisconsin. There's nothing radical about that.
On the campaign trail, public safety has dominated. Michels calling on Evers to halt the state's parole process, a process dictated by state law for those sentenced before 2000. The governor appoints the head of the commission making the ultimate decision on parole. Are you confident in the parole commission, in your commission as we sit here today, that they won't release any more violent offenders that will go out and reoffend?
Well, what I am confident in going forward is that they will do their job by making sure that victims have a seat at the table. That's part of their job, and yes, I'm convinced that will be. The Parole Commission worked for Walker, it worked for Tommy Thompson, it worked for Doyle. They released more people than I did. Suddenly, because of an election, it's a different story. Well, the Parole Commission is the Parole Commission. It's not something that I can I have any control over. If I need to, I'll intervene when I see that victims aren't at the table to provide their testimony to the commissioners. And so that's the best I can do.
So you do have a little bit of control.
Well, on that issue, yeah. I mean, I can certainly monitor their work, and if it seems like they're doing something that isn't according to Hoyle by the state law, I'll call them out on that, sure.
Tim, what would you do differently as governor? Would you attempt to halt or stop paroles?
I'm going to appoint a parole commissioner who does not have a governor's goal, because I don't have that goal, of cutting in half the prison population.
So you wouldn't attempt to stop the process?
We would not stop the process.
Do you have a short list of names?
I do not.
Michaels also promising to upend district attorneys' offices over the issue of bail.
We're going to back the blue, and we are going to get rid of the catch and release DA.
Your opponent has said he would fire John Chisholm because of what happened in the Brooks case. Sure. If you were to get the formal complaint that you need to do so, would you fire Chisholm?
There's certain specifics that have to be met in order to make that happen. And we, in the first case or the case that was brought to us, I can't remember who brought the case, who brought it, but we made sure that we had some ideas of what that meant, and that we felt relatively confident that it didn't rise to that level.
Do you have confidence in John Chisholm as Milwaukee County's district attorney?
He's still in office, and he is.
But do you personally?
I do, of course.
The race with increasingly national overtones and implications. Michaels bringing in Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, who flipped the Virginia governor's mansion last year in a notable win for the GOP.
Governor, you're traveling the country in campaigns across the country. What does your presence here say about the significance and the closeness of this race? And have all these races become national?
Yep, so first of all, this race is neck and neck. And everybody knows that the importance of the governorship in Wisconsin speaks across the nation.
Democrats knowing the stakes, turning last week into former President Barack Obama.
Tony is tough. He's single-handedly keeping Republicans from driving the car off the road. He might be democracy's best hope in Wisconsin.
Last week, we featured our new interviews on the campaign trail with the U.S. Senate candidates. Watch that now on WISN.com/upfront. Up next in Battleground Wisconsin, our insiders standing by, the final moments inside the campaigns for governor and U.S. Senate, and what they'll be watching for Tuesday night.